will go down as we can cache it much further down in the networks instead of pinging it up and down wherever the content is. At the same time, of course, they will be able to their customers tell them what type of content can have a premium or not premium, what is prioritized and not prioritized as well. So it is creating an opportunity for their revenue growth as well, which is important in the whole industry chain.
Very good. We have a hand in the middle over here. Microphone number 5 is on the way. Please, sir.
Thanks. This is Achal Sultania from Credit Suisse. If I look at your LTE revenues, it seems that 2011 might be the year when we see some ramp in LTE revenues, especially in the US. I'm looking at what impact it could have on your margins. Is LTE contracts in the US, is it more like new network rollouts, or is it like software-defined base stations which are upgradable to LTE?
I think I stick pretty much to what I said earlier. Our main revenue on the network is going to be on HSPA and 3G, even 2011. LTE is still a smaller portion, but an important portion because it's lead customers in North America and other places that are investing. And we're also trying improving TD-LTE down here. We're going to see some operators on TD-LTE as well. So I think that it still is a smaller portion on our revenues than compared to HSPA. And we have said before that maybe significant volumes 12, 13, 14, that's when we want to see significant volumes. So it's still a smaller part of our sales, but very important for our R&D and our product because we build them together in the same rack and all of that. So it's very important from that point of view.
Thank you very much. We go to microphone number 3 over there, please.
Great, thanks. It's sorry, Mark McKechnie here. Thanks, Hans, over here.
Okay.
Appreciate it. So I wanted to ask you, you talked about 600 million mobile broadband subscribers going to over 1 billion. Do you think a lot of that is going to come in Europe, where they follow what's happened in the US? And then second, while I'm on that, can you talk a little bit about the state of the networks here in Europe? You talk a lot about network modernization, you talk about how old the base stations are, but maybe just give us some more characterization on that.
I love to generalize on Europe. But let me start with the main part, of course, of the mobile broadband growth from 600 billion is still coming a lot from new areas where we are sort of rolling out networks on HSPA. I mean, Europe has a fairly high level of HSPA in the networks. Still there is growth, but much of the growth will come from new networks where we now are enabling them with HSPA. When it comes to the status of the networks in Europe, I think that it's hard to generalize. I mean, we have 3, 4 operators in every country, and the size of Europe is quite big, so it's hard to generalize. But as I said before, I mean, we estimate together with my colleagues at Networks that there is around 5 million radio base stations out there. And 1 million of those radio base stations, they are so old, so the power consumption, the footprint, and the technology in them is not really working for this network society and the mobile broadband. The major part of those is of course in Europe, which was first out on 2G and 3G. So that's why the modernization is happening in Europe.
Thank you very much, Hans. We move over to microphone number 4 in the back.
Yeah, thanks. It's Rod Hall with JP Morgan. I just have a couple of questions, Hans. One on the Akamai deal. If you could talk a little bit about how that will be deployed in the networks. Is that going to be embedded Akamai services in your network appliances? Will it be a separate appliance? Can you just kind of help us understand that? Yeah. And then on the SSR, I just wanted to see whether you could give us any idea what pre-order activity looks like and when shipment might occur on that.
Yeah. We start with SSR and the pre-orders. We are sort of launching it now. So we are now taking it to the market and having discussion with our customers. But initially we have good reactions on it and very positive. It's probably by end of this year we're going to start shipping it really in volumes. But it is very important for us that we establish ourselves as a very strong IP player based on the investment we have done in Silicon Valley together with the networks business that we have now made this product together. So again, very proud of it. The second question was?
On Akamai.
I know the answer.
You take that.
We did this to be in the Ericsson appliance. There's no reason to have extra appliances there. We're a software company. This is going to deploy a lot easier to run through the Ericsson appliances.
So we will have different type of technology sitting in the products in order to secure this enablement.
Very good, thank you. I think I saw a hand somewhere in the back over here. So, yeah, we'll start over there. Yeah, and we move forward.
Thank you, Matt Hall from Cowan. Push a few Hans, we'll change gears to the JVs for a second. You mentioned the progress that Sony Ericsson made this year. Good job by those guys. ST Ericsson, though, you had to inject a little bit of capital there in the fourth quarter. Now their big customer Nokia has announced a shift. How will that impact the business? Talk about your commitment to the JV during the course of the year. Thank you.
You have the CFO of Ericsson sitting next to you if you have any specific question later on. When it comes to Ericsson, we think that's a very important piece for the next society in order to see that we have chipset enabling what we're doing on the network. For example, now with the 21 megabits that is coming out in the networks from U1, head of networks, and Ulf and the guys, we are also doing a chipset on 21 megabits in ST Ericsson. That's how we see it important. However, they are coming together, three companies with legacy products, which have sort of been selling them separately. This year is the first time we're going to get a combined product out, and that's a U8500, which will have a couple of very important key wins with, design wins into operators. So I think that our support is there definitely. We think it's an extremely important piece to have when it comes to technology. When it comes to Nokia, it's a little bit early to assess. ST Ericsson should talk for themselves, but Nokia is an important customer for ST Ericsson. But we need to come back to that. We made statements and Nokia made statements that they think that ST Ericsson will be a very important partner going forward. But let's come back on that.
Thank you. Next question, further up here. Who is the fastest microphone runner?
Okay.
Number 5.
Hans Stenger, Netherlands. A question to Mr. Veldberg. You are stating that due to the deployment of the networks, more and more people will be connected. And what we've seen in recent history is that this connection also makes regions very unstable. What's your vision about being one of the enablers of making this happening?
I think that a couple of things will need to happen. I think that technology will of course continue to evolve, which will sort out things all the time. And as I said, standing here 2 years ago, I didn't even think that the streets were here today. So that is sorting out. Then we are also working a lot with the heterogeneous network, HEP-nets, in order to address the urban lifestyles where the main part of data traffic is. And here we're going to see different type of solutions that is created for indoor, and you don't need only macro sites in order to actually make an efficient data traffic and voice traffic in very urban cities. So you will see us continue to work with that, with operators to actually optimize it. But you also need to remember that spectrum is sometimes a scarce resource. So we need to utilize that with the best technology and the technology innovation. And that's when the technology leadership comes in order to actually use that spectrum in the best way. So I really envision we will see more of the HEP-nets, we will see more of new products that actually enables that, and technology leadership on that.
Very good. We move on. You've got your chance. Now we move on to this one. That is microphone number 2. We have only 6 minutes to go.
Hello, from India.
Yeah, there you are. Sorry.
You spoke about how these networks are going to require far more capacity, about 20 or 25 times more capacity is what he said. If you look at what's happening with respect to the unit prices which operators are getting for connectivity solutions, it's been continuously falling, not just on the voice side but also on the data side. How far do you see yourself enabling those operators to make a good ROI, just to be able to make that kind of significant investment that for the future and build up that capacity if the unit prices keep falling, perhaps faster than the equipment prices are?
I see 2 things. First of all, I think we work with the CAPEX all the time through our technology leadership, so we can deliver more capacity all the time. That's just part of what we talked about on HSPA and 4G, so that's one. The other is, of course, our whole service portfolio addressing the OPEX in order to reduce cost in the operation. So that we're doing all the time to support the operator. Then I think one of the other thing on the flip side for the operator themselves, what we're doing here, for example, we are creating new ways for them to actually create revenue. The machine-to-machine that we sort of announced today, and the Akamai relationship, both of them should be ability or enablers for them to actually monetize more on the broadband. but not because they're going to overcharge, because it's going to be new services in the network society that we didn't think about when we deployed it. And that's what it's all about the next 10 years, to find those areas. You want to say something?
Yeah, our experience so far is also we really bring the costs down. This data can go more efficiently. So we can take transit costs out, and we can cache things closer to the edge. There's a lot of cost savings as well. So the ROI is going to come from both the top and the bottom line on this shared technology.
Very good. We go to the next one, microphone number 6.
Tony from Telecom Radio. How are you?
I'm fine.
Fine. We know that you focus on the Japanese and USA market. Okay, and we know last year there is big acquisition by NSN to Motorola network. Does this have impact for Ericsson to keep the leading position in these markets?
First of all, I think, yes, US and Japan was important last year, but we need to remember that Ericsson has operation in more than 175 countries. So we are basically in all. But last year we had more growth in US and Japan than many other countries, that's right. It's hard to say anything about NSN and Motorola as the deal is not done yet. So I have no comments on it.
Okay, another question. In many places of the world, there is some debate for regulation of LTE spectrum. What is Ericsson out of this?
As a regulation, I think that I always come back to a standard phrase. The more you can standardize, the better the end user benefits going to be. Meaning that the more standardized, the frequencies more harmonized, the better it's going to be. Then we all know different countries have decided for different things. But we believe, for example, that 1800 megahertz on LTE could be something that is very widely spread, etc. So I think it's more about scale again. The more scale, I mean, it's a reason why GSM phones can be so cheap, because it's a scale, the mass volume on the standard decided all over the world. Now we do that on HSPA, and we're going to do it on LTE again. And that should be the benefit for the consumers, for the business and enterprises, and for the society. That's why we believe this is a transformative technology that actually are doing a revolution right now.
Very good. We move on to next question. Microphone number 2.
More people.
Good morning, Hans.
Good morning.
So, question, the money services that you are launching, a lot of operators are launching it under their own brand. Some device vendors are also having that ambition of launching these services. The financial services companies are getting into this. Are you going to do white label enabling, or is it going to be Ericsson branded effort across the world?
Excellent question. As usually, we are there to support operators. So we are white labeling, putting in a network infrastructure or a solution that enables operators to monetize on this again. So, and you can go down there and look and talk to the guys that have done it, but definitely we are going for a white label solution supporting the operator in mobile transactions. And then we're going to see how it develops over time.
Very good. And now I will help you. We will have microphone number 6 down there.
Can you help me? Thank you.
Hi, Lucy Battersby from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. I just wanted to follow up. The gentleman from Norway, I think his question was actually about Netherlands. Sorry. I think his question was about political and social disruption caused by wireless networks, such as we've seen in Tunisia and Egypt. If you could comment on that, please.
Yes, I can comment on that. And I think that, of course, if you look at these countries with political unrest, one thing that is very clear, the majority of all information coming out from those countries is coming from the mobile networks, and people can communicate. So we think it's important for the democracy that you have a mobile network, and then of course you can always sort of abuse it in certain ways, but the most important is that it's actually building a possibility